Almased is a health and weight loss shake that's advertised on both TV and online. It's marketed to help people not only lose weight, but also boost their metabolism, help them feel better throughout the day, and restore their wellness. Today, let's look at Almased and the research on this weight loss shake and see what we can discover. And if you're here for the very first time, welcome. I review the dietary supplement research so you don't have to, and I am unbiased. I'm not an employee of any supplement company or pharmaceutical company either. So let's begin this discussion with the ingredients in Almased. The company calls attention specifically to three key ingredients. They are protein, yogurt, and raw honey. They also tell us this health shake is vegetarian, gluten-free, non-GMO, and has no stimulants or preservatives. If we drill down further, the supplement facts label tells us that each serving of Almased, which is 8 tablespoons, has 180 calories, 24 grams of protein, and an assortment of vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. And for those who are curious about the source of the protein, 83% of it is soy, and the remaining is skim milk and yogurt. The supplement facts label also tells us that each serving of Almased has 10 grams of added sugars. And while there's no percent daily value next to added sugars, the fact that it contains 10 grams tells us that it is technically high in added sugars for those who eat a 2,000 calorie a day diet. And by the way, keep in mind all the values you see on the supplement facts label is predicated on you mixing it with water. Now don't get me wrong, if this is the highest added sugar product you're consuming during the day, you're doing okay. Just know that each Almased shake you consume is giving you about 1/5 of your daily allowance of added sugars. That said, Almased shakes are generally regarded as a low glycemic index shake, which is why this is usually popular with people with diabetes and blood sugar problems. So what about the research on Almased shakes? Well, the website does tell us that this health shake is supported by over 30 university studies, and the company does indeed support an awful lot of that research. So let's take a look at the findings of some of those studies now. In this study, which was published in 2007, pre- and postmenopausal women who consumed 1 to 2 Almased shakes daily for 18 weeks lost more weight, although it appears that only those women who were postmenopausal saw weight loss that was due mostly to fat loss. On the other hand, women who were premenopausal saw reductions in cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides. The premenopausal women in this study also lost significant amounts of weight. However, about 21% of that weight loss was due to lean mass. Now, whether that is due to muscle loss or water loss wasn't specified. In this paper, men and women with NASH, a fatty liver condition, who consumed 1 to 2 Almased shakes daily for 18 weeks or not, saw similar improvements in liver fat reduction, body weight loss, and blood sugar control. The only significant difference between the two is that those consuming the Almased shakes saw greater reductions in triglycerides. And then there's this paper, which goes by the name Almased Concept Against Overweight and Obesity and Related Health Risk. This study involved over 400 overweight men and women with diabetes and heart health issues. Revealed that compared to those who just did lifestyle change by itself, those who consumed the Almased health shake had faster weight loss and faster fat loss and lower diastolic blood pressure too. That's really interesting. And I also want to point out that the data from this study was later reanalyzed and published again as this study and this study, as well as this clinical trial. Now I know what you're thinking. Why did they do that? Well, it's a common practice in science to reanalyze data and do a sub-analysis and republish that data under a different study title. I'm not a big fan of it, but it is something that does happen quite frequently. Regardless, all 5 of these studies do appear to show that health benefits occur when people drink the Almased health shake. And to give you a better idea of this, here's all 5 of these clinical trials side by side so you can get a better idea of what happened. But here's the thing, the research that I saw appears to be comparing Almased health shakes to lifestyle change by itself. And while that's nice, what I didn't see was any clinical trials where Almased was compared to other low-calorie meal replacement shakes. Like, for example, how does it compare to Slim Fast? That would be a very interesting study to see. Now I know what you're thinking. How much does Almased cost? Well, when I made this video and I checked Amazon, they were selling 3 cans of Almased for about $113. That's a 3-month supply. And if you do the math, that comes to about $37 per can. Okay, so let's cut to the chase. What's the good and the not so good? So the good is that the Almased company supports research on their product, and I'll give them props for that because that's not something I see an awful lot in the dietary supplement industry. So So that's good. Much of that research appears to show that when people consume Almased shakes in place of meals they normally would consume, you see improvements in body weight, cholesterol, blood sugar, and blood pressure, and many other parameters. In my opinion, the not so good is the price, and I'd also like to see some research comparing Almased to other meal replacement shakes. In my opinion, if Almased really does work, the answer is clear. Drinking the shake gets people to eat fewer calories, which is the same thing I've seen with other meal replacement shakes. But you tell me, if you've tried Almased health shakes, what do you think of all this?